This is case State of Ohio versus Leandre Ward, case number 22CR39159. Mr. Ward is present today without an attorney. The state is represented by Teresa Hyatt. Mr. Ward, there's been a report of a violation of your probation. How old are you?
I'm 26.
According to this, on June 6, 2025, you were convicted of reckless driving in Mobile County, Alabama. On July 22nd, 2025, you were convicted of obstructing governmental operations in Escambia, Alabama. On October 3rd, 2025, reckless driving. It doesn't say whether you were convicted or not. I assume you were convicted of reckless driving in Mobile, Alabama. And on January 29, 2029, you were convicted of a illegal possession of a firearm in Clark County, Alabama. This could result in revocation of your community control, imposition of the sentence that was reserved. You have a right to be represented by an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney will be appointed to represent you. Would you like to have legal counsel?
And I would like to represent myself, Your Honor.
Are you sure? Because you could go to prison.
Yeah, I'm trying to just get this out the way. If I may,
Read through your side.
if I may, I'm currently on PRC in Dayton, Ohio, and I'm also on state parole for the state of Alabama. Only one of those cases were the illegal firearm. I was unknowingly around a firearm. I did not have possession of a firearm. I have 16 years of preserved sentence time for the state of Alabama. I got sanctioned for that illegal firearm in the year of 2024. They gave me 90 days in the county jail and reinstated my parole. I'm currently reinstated for parole for PRC and the state of Alabama. If I needed to went to prison, I would have been sent back to prison in the state of Alabama first, then I would have came up here. I've been in jail since August 9th of last year, literally, and I've been trying to rehabilitate myself since I've been in jail. A lot of those tickets, a lot of those other charges were traffic tickets, like the reckless driving and all those were traffic tickets. I didn't even really thought, I never got violated for any of those or anything. Okay. I report every month, I pay every month in the state of Alabama. I have not had any issues of going back to prison since I've been out of prison. I have a little girl, I've been the main provider for my little girl. I've went into my savings account since I've been in jail. I've never been away from my little girl this long. I'm just pleading to the court, probation. Y'all can reset my community corrections just so I could prove myself. I'm just trying to do better, Judge. I'm not trying to go back to prison. I did 4 years in prison. I don't plan on ever going back to prison.
Well, you haven't impressed our probation department. I think that's an understatement.
I haven't been
You've not impressed them. In other words, doesn't seem you've done real well. But I understand there's two sides to the story. I'm sure you don't want an attorney, first of all, because you're entitled to have an attorney represent you on these matters. Some of these things you're saying, let me just read the recommendation here, and that's prior to, I guess, them listening to jail calls, because when they listen to jail calls, you aren't helping yourself at all.
Okay.
Mr. Ward, throughout his time on probation, has proceeded to continue in his criminal thinking and continuing to commit new crimes. Mr. Ward, I assume the new crimes are the traffic violations, is that right? And that weapons charge that he's talking about?
Your Honor, according to Officer Rose, on January 29th of this year, he was sentenced to 10 years in prison, and the clerk's office has verified this. He also has an APA holder through Montgomery County.
Who sentenced him to 10 years?
It says it's Clark County, Alabama.
Okay.
If I may, I'm on a front-end diversion for Clark County for the unknowingly possession certain persons of a firearm. A front-end, it's different from Ohio laws. The 10 years are suspended. The 2 years are on probation going forward.
Okay.
I'm released on probation
That's why
For
you
the 2
need an
years.
attorney to straighten this out. Now, you can be frustrated with that, but that's the best thing that you can, that's the best decision you can make.
I've just spent a lot of money, Judge. I was trying to prevent from keep spending money.
Oh, I want an attorney to represent you. You've been locked up how long? 10
A
months?
year.
A year?
Well, yeah, it's
Yeah.
almost a year.
Who's,
James Dean.
were you happy with Mr. Staten, or do you want somebody else?
I don't know any lawyers. I've been in Alabama since I left.
Who represented you previously on this?
I can't even remember his name.
There was 3 of them, Your Honor. The last one, I can double check that.
I don't think his last attorney was still on the list.
Let me see, 1 second, let me look up his judgment entry, because I have 2 listed in discovery.
The last one, at least in benchmark looking briefly, was Jonathan Horwitz. And then
He's not on the list anymore.
he's not on the list, yeah. Before that was Jesse Bowman.
1 second. At his sentencing, it was John Horowitz, yeah, so,
And
then we had,
Ed Martin. So none of the 3 of those are on the list.
Do you remember Mr. Harden?
I remember the Horwitz.
Horowitz? Okay.
I do remember
He
him.
got off the list. We'll, Mr. Harden, is he on the list?
He is not on the list currently.
How about Josh Engel? Okay, we'll appoint Josh Engel to represent you. Give him the information from your perspective. He'll check it out, and then he'll come in and give us appropriate information. It's frustrating, and I guess what we checked says you were sentenced to 10 years in prison.
Yeah, it's a front end diversion.
You told
Alabama
me
has
that.
split sentences, so a front end diversion is I get out with 2 years of probation. I do the 2 years of probation, then
Okay, my impression is you got 10 years in prison. Maybe, now I know I read an email on this, so it may have been clarified on that. But I'd like to make sure I understand the situation before I do anything. So, we'll appoint him to represent you. I'll ask probation. If that wasn't already there, if it wasn't clear, I need an accurate summary. If it was, I need to reread it.
Yeah,
So,
Officer Rose said in here that she spoke to the clerks in Alabama and they confirmed the convictions and they confirmed the sentencings.
it was a 2 year split to serve. 10.
okay, yeah, okay.
I just know
don't- I
Ohio don't
necessarily-
have split sentences, so Ohio probably don't understand. But I was released on 2 years.
Maybe the clerk in Alabama didn't understand. Maybe somebody didn't understand. I guarantee you, when you get an attorney to look at it, we'll have a better ability to understand it. Okay, so we'll get you in here as soon as Mr. Engel is available.
and
do you
probable
know-
cause was found, Your Honor.
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
Do you know when my next court date for here will be?
probably next week.
And one more, then when you said the APA Montgomery County, that's up here, right?
Montgomery County is in Dayton, yes. It's about 30 miles north of here. Okay, that's all. Okay, this is State of Ohio versus Leandre Ward. Case number is 22CR39159. Mr. Ward is present with his attorney Josh Engel. The state is represented by Teresa Hyatt. We're here for a final probation violation hearing. How does Mr. Ward wish to proceed?
He is going to admit that he does have violations in other states.
Those were all misdemeanors, right?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Yes.
Oh, no, one,
The gun charge was a felony, but the obstruction as well as the 2 traffic were misdemeanors.
Okay, what was the felony?
It was a certain person's forbidden to possess a firearm.
No possession of firearm. Okay.
I think there was some confusion last time he came in. I wasn't here, but what I've been able to piece together about the sentence that he got there, I think he mostly got what their equivalent of community control there. I think there was a question about whether he got 10 years or something crazy like that, which he did not get. So he wanted to make sure the court knows that the sentences there were not significant.
Okay. Anything from probation?
Your Honor, like the defense attorney stated, there was some confusion. Alabama does their sentencing a little bit different. Regardless of those sentences, Mr. Ward has a parole holder through Montgomery County, and they have stated that he will be facing a parole violation and will likely be going back to prison on that, as well as due to the violations and his behavior while in community control, I do not believe that he's a fit for community control.
Thank you. Anything, Ms. Hyatt?
Your Honor, I actually spoke to Ms. Nicholson because it was her case. She indicated that during the pendency of this case, this defendant wound up having 3 different attorneys. He was in prison already for a violent offense, which was a felony 1 aggravated robbery case, when he assaulted the corrections officer in this particular case. And her position from the beginning was that he should go to prison on this. The fact that he has a parole violation in Montgomery County, I agree that that's great that they're gonna send him back to prison on that. But he only has 96 days on a possible 36-month sentence. And quite frankly, I just feel like if he's gonna go to prison, then he should do some time for assaulting a corrections officer while he was in prison the last time.
Thank you. Mr. Engel?
Your Honor, he's indicated to me he's been locked up since August 9th of last year. I know he's got a bunch of days on this case and not a lot left on this case. What I would recommend to the court, and hope the court would accept, is that the court just give him credit for the days that he served on this case, unsuccessfully terminate him from community control here, and let the adult parole authority do whatever it's going to do.
How much time does he have on this charge?
Yes, no.
And he was charged with, do you know, Ms. Hyatt, what the injuries were to the officer?
I can find that out, Judge. And I'm sorry, you did reserve 18 months, because this is a 22 case, just so you know. It was not the full 36 months. You reserved 18 at the time. Let me get to this 1 second. Sorry. Okay, so according to the notes, okay, he struck the corrections officer multiple times in the mouth, causing him to bleed. I may have photographs if the court would want to see that. Actually, to be honest, Your Honor, it's not like blood gushing from his mouth. There appeared to be a cut on the inside of his lip.
So it was basically a misdemeanor assault other than the fact that he's corrections officer? Well,
There was no no serious physical harm, Your
Okay.
Honor, yes, because this was never a felonious assault case.
anything else you want to say?
I think he wanted to indicate that I believe his community control time would end probably at the end of June, too.
Okay.
So I think he's close to the end of that time.
Anything you want to say?
Your Honor, I just want to apologize to the court, apologize to probation.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
Okay. Why do you think you're having such a hard time in life?
I don't really know.
Maybe it just sounds like it. You've got 4 different charges in Alabama. Were those separate charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
You
Well-
served prison time here. You're 26 years old. You struck an officer while you were in prison. Why do you think that is?
When I was young, I caught cases in Alabama and Ohio. I went to prison in Ohio and got my time ran concurrent. So I was on parole in Ohio and Alabama. I've
Okay.
been out of prison for 3 years now. I have 16 years. I'm still on parole in Alabama. I know if I would have done anything too wrong, I would have been back to prison already.
Okay.
I've been doing the best I can, but Alabama laws are very different from the state of Ohio laws.
Well, I drove
Most
back
of the-
and forth to Alabama for 16 years almost. So my granddaughter's from that area. Somewhat familiar with the state of Alabama, I guess is all I'm saying. Okay, I cut you off. You were going to say something else. Were you going to say anything else? We finished.
The other charges were traffic violations. Like,
Except for the possession of
yeah,
possession
the
of.
firearm was me being around a firearm, not being in possession of a firearm.
Okay. You
That's
mentioned-
why I got the sentence that I got. I didn't have possession. I was in the car with my older brother that I haven't seen in 6 years, and he was a registered firearm holder. He had a gun in the car without my knowledge. I got the charge for being in the car with him while he had the firearm.
Okay.
It wasn't me being in possession of a firearm because the state of Alabama like that. Other than that was just the only being around the firearm.
Okay, all right, I'm just going to terminate this case with credit for time served. We'll make it a neutral termination.
Thank you.
That's all.